Hello and welcome to our PZ Ultimate New Beginners Survival Guide for Project Zomboid Part 1. Hey, I'm Obi.
And I'm Sobi. If you've just picked up the game or come back after a long break and need a refresher, then you came to the right place. Hey, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you find anything helpful or learn something in this video, think about hitting that like button to stay up to date with all of our new content that we have coming to the channel regarding Project Zomboid.
But with that out of the way, let's jump in. Project Zomboid, at first, can be very overwhelming. From the time you load up the game, you have to build a character, and even that can be a little much for first-timers. If you missed out on our last couple videos covering the best positive and negative traits, be sure to go check those out. We will have links for those at the end of the video. But moving on, you build your first survivor, and within the first few seconds, you're already overwhelmed with the controls and the threat of the undead. That being said, we've got you covered. So let's get started out with some settings that might make your stay in Knox County a little more pleasurable. So before you even start the game, on the options menu on the main title screen, go to cursor visibility and change this to either 50% or 75%. This will help you to be able to see your in-game aiming cursor much easier, as the default blends into the ground rather easily. Next, you're going to want to move down to rendering and performance and change the color of the highlighted container to something of your personal preference. For us, we use a hot pink just because it stands out that much more. Also, if you go to the clock, you can change the settings based on your personal taste.
Now it's time to build your map. So to start out, under Playstyle, click on Custom Sandbox. Then you want to choose your spawn location. Rosewood is the easiest starting location, but Riverside is not terrible either. Next, click on Zombie Lore and unclick Proper Zombies. From here, you're going to want to choose Transmission and pick Saliva Only. This will help keep you from getting the zombie infection unless you've actually been bitten. This should make it a little easier for you. Directly under this, click Advanced Zombie Options. Here you can adjust when you want the zombies to respawn. You can also turn the respawning off by just putting a 0 in the respawn hours field. And for the final setting, go to Character and click the option Starter Kit. This is going to start you out with a bag of chips, water bottle, backpack, a hammer, and most importantly, a weapon.
Before you start playing the game, we do recommend that you play through the tutorial. This should give you the basic controls and an idea of how to start the game. But if you don't want to do that, again, we have you covered. Now it's time to get started. So once you've loaded into the map, it's time to assess the situation. Make sure you close the tutorial screen, but keep in mind that you can bring it back up rather easily by pressing the F1 key. The first thing you're going to want to do is pull the baseball bat from your backpack. You can do so by looking in your inventory and clicking on the backpack. Then right-click on the bat and choose Place on your back. This will lower the weight of your bat and free up some inventory space. This will also allow you to quickly equip your weapon by pressing 1 on the keyboard. Then go to your hammer and right-click and place this in your belt. This will again free up inventory space and also give you another hotkey to choose for your hammer. And if you're wanting to select multiple objects in your inventory, you can also use Control and left-click to do so. You're going to want to take a look around in the area you spawned in. Most likely you spawned in a house, but will occasionally spawn in another location. You first want to make sure that you don't have any zombies in the home with you, so have a look around using right-click or left control and dragging your cursor in the direction you want to look. If you're unfortunate and have a zombie in the home with you, hold down right-click or control, then left-click, and you will perform your attack. You can also hold right-click and control and press the spacebar, push a zombie, and this can cause it to fall over. This is not 100% guaranteed, but it works great when one-on-one, and can save the condition of your weapon, as weapons do degrade and will break over time as you use them. Now, if you do manage to push zombies over, if you stand on it, it cannot get up. A quick suggestion would be to walk over to the zombie's head and press spacebar again to stomp on the zombie, instantly killing it. Now keep in mind that you can only see zombies in front of you, so be sure to keep your head on a swivel and also keep your ears open for incoming threats.
Now, if you don't have any zombies in the home, check the windows. If the windows have curtains, be sure to right-click on them and use the option to close the curtain, or hold Shift and left-click and this will accomplish the same thing. This will keep zombies from stumbling over and seeing you through the window. Keep in mind that if the door has a window, then they can also see you through those as well. Now that the home is secured, look in the kitchen for food. If you happen to see a can opener or a cooking pot, hold on to these for dear life. Be sure to place anything you don't plan on using right away in your backpack, as this will help keep you from getting weighed down. While we're on that topic, be sure not to carry too much. Doing so will cause your character to move and attack slower, and if you're trying to escape, you can trip or fall when running or climbing fences. But back to food. If you find any fresh food, then you might want to just go ahead and eat it and fill your character up because you're going to be fighting a lot of zombies before too long and you don't want the negative effects of being hungry. And if you see a sink, you can right click to drink or to fill water bottles from this. Keep in mind that within the first 30 days, the electricity and water will shut off, so you might want to start planning ahead for when this happens. However, we're going to be going over that a little bit later. Also, if you manage to find a screwdriver and a saw, be sure to grab these as these will come in handy in the future. Now, before you step out into the world, look for any clothing in the house that might give you some extra protection, and if you see clothing lying about, then you can just rip it up. These will turn into ripped sheets and can be used as bandages if you get an injury. Keep in mind that if you've been bitten, you will slowly turn into a zombie, but if that happens, you can either use this time to kill as many zombies as possible, or get your current loot to a safe spot to pick up later.
Once you feel like you're ready to step out into the world, it's time to find a base. If you're not sure of a good base location, then we recommend that you check out our best base locations guide after this video is over. Again, link will be at the end of the video. So once you're out on the streets, you're going to want to try to make your way to your preferred base location. We will put a link down in the description with an interactive map that should help you get your bearings. Also, if you wish to open your in-game map, press the M key. So on the way to your base, try to avoid as many zombies as possible and don't engage with them unless necessary. And a quick side note, try not to get distracted by other buildings. At this stage in the game, you're going to want to get your base up and running as soon as possible. Keep in mind, while traveling, try not to run if possible. This will tire your character out rather quickly, and as long as you're not carrying too much, you should be able to outwalk the zombies and use line of sight to get them off your back. Now, once you get close to your base location, here is where you're going to want to start killing Zeds. Now, if you see a large group, try not to get attention of the full squad. Try to get close enough just to pull one or two of them at a time and slowly kill them off. Attracting a lot of attention at this point will for sure get you killed. If you do manage to get injured, however, be sure to click on the heart icon and you can right click on the injury and use rip sheets to bandage them. You will, however, have to periodically change the bandage as they will get dirty, but do so quickly as any type of cut will cause you to bleed out. Wounds can become infected, so keep an eye on this. If this does happen, and you happen to have any disinfectant in your inventory, when changing out your bandage you can clean the wound and the infection will go away with time.
Moving on, once you cleared your preferred base location of any threats, it's time to start barricading the windows. Now, if you found a saw or a screwdriver, you can start to dismantle things in your base to get wood and nails. You'll want to use these to barricade the windows. Keep in mind that you can barricade both sides, inside and out, and this will maximize your defenses and hopefully keep any stragglers from breaking into your compound. We would also like to suggest that you look around the base for any extra building materials such as boxes of nails or even planks. Eventually you're going to want to build a fence around your base, but we're going to go over that in a future video. Now that you're good and secure, be sure to locate any weapons that are hidden away in your base. Try to pull them to one location for quick and easy access in case your base is being attacked by a horde of the undead.
Now, before we wrap this up, here are a couple of things you're going to want to keep in mind. If you hear a loud gunshot, this is known as a gunshot event. Any zombies in the location will be drawn to the direction of the sound and can cause Zeds to quickly swarm your base. Also, there's another event that will happen called the helicopter event. This is probably the worst thing that can happen to new players. When this happens, the helicopter will come to your location and hover above you, causing any zombies in the area to come straight to you, and they will come from all directions. Again, in a future video, we will give you some tips on how you can survive when this happens. So if you're playing on single player, don't forget you have to sleep. If your base has a second floor, this is probably where you're going to want to set up your bed. Try to not let your character get too sleep deprived, but if your character is getting a little tired, you can use vitamins to help negate this. Another quick tip most new players miss is that broken windows with glass in them can give you serious injuries if you try to climb through them. So, before you do this, be sure to right click on the window and choose the option to remove the broken glass. And since we are on the subject of breaking into homes, be sure that anytime you enter a building, you have an exit strategy. If you break through a window because all the exterior doors are locked, as soon as you have an opportunity, be sure to unlock the door for a quick getaway. Also, be careful when opening doors on interior locations. You can always hit the door with a weapon to see if any zombies react to your knock that might be on the other side. Even if you don't hear zombies, they can always be hiding out of sight. And one last tip. If again you happen to have a 2-story base, be sure to craft some sheet ropes to be able to climb in and out of the 2nd story window. This can save your life if your base is overrun and you need a quick exit. That being said, we recommend that you have multiple of these already set up and maybe one sheet rope put close to a window, as zombies can pull these down. Now you can find sheets simply by pulling down curtains found in nearby homes.
But that's all we have for part 1 in our Ultimate Beginner's Guide to PZ or Project Zomboid. Hey, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all of the PZ content that we have coming to the channel. Also, if you found this video helpful in any way, be sure to hit the like button, as it helps us grow and reach a broader audience, and we really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to come and chat with us live while we play PZ, be sure to come over to our Twitch channel, as we love chatting with our community and would love to see you there.
But until next time, this is Obi.
This is Obi.
Signing out.
See you guys next time.